And breaking right now, 10 ISIS leaders in U.S.-led airstrikes in the past month. The U.S.-led coalition has been pounding ISIS terrorists in Iraq and Syria. But does the death of these 10 leaders make a dent in ISIS? Former Florida Congressman Colonel Allen West goes on the record. Colonel, always a pleasure to have you on the program. What are your thoughts and reflections on this breaking news coming in? 10 of their bad guys down.
Well, it's good to be with you, Kimberly, and Happy New Year. Let's put this in historical perspective. When the United States intercepted the airplane carrying Japanese Admiral Yamamoto and killed him over the Pacific, that did not stop the Japanese Navy nor the Imperial Japanese Army. When we killed Osama bin Laden, that did not stop al-Qaeda whatsoever. As a matter of fact, they've grown. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, the Arabian Peninsula, al-Qaeda in, of course, in the Middle East, Jabhat al-Nusra, and then, of course, al-Qaeda is resurging in other places. So when I see an administration that is talking about killing 10 leaders, that shows they're not looking at the broader global Islamic jihadist movement that is happening. What they're doing is responding to a poll and the anxiety of the American people that says they're not comfortable with what the president is doing. Killing 10 ISIS leaders does not stop this global movement that has extended, based upon ISIS, from Boko Haram in Nigeria all the way over to the Philippines.
Well, they have been described as mid-level ISIS leaders. To you, I mean, we're not getting any kind of intelligence gathering here. We're trying to take them out. One of them in particular, Hakim, was linked to the Paris attacks. It's some progression in the right direction, but much more must be done. What do you think we need to do to make a game changer to take down this caliphate?
Well, the most important thing is we have to attack their ideology. We have to conduct a very targeted information operations campaign that defeats ISIS on the online, and not just ISIS, but all the other Islamic terrorist groups that are out there. And then the other thing that we have to do is we have to start eroding the ability of ISIS to be able to command and control operations from their caliphate headquarters, which is Raqqa, and then also Mosul. You know, the success that you have had in Ramadi, as Gerald Keane talked about earlier today, you're going to have to be able to stabilize that area, make sure they don't come back in. But then furthermore, we need to continue with an operational tempo that keeps the pressure on them and not just an operational pause. ISIS has already been declared operationally emergent in Afghanistan. So that's a very important thing that I think the administration is not paying attention to.
Yeah, that is a significant achievement on their behalf to be able to do that. And I think you bring up a great point about Ramadi, because we can't celebrate too soon, because there are plenty of ISIS leaders that are still in Ramadi, and that could still go a very bloody way, because I don't think they're just going to take a knee on that one.
No, they're absolutely not. And the most important thing is, just because you score a touchdown, if you're down 49-0, you still are 42 points behind. And I think that's the way that we need to look at this. And furthermore, we may have killed 10 mid-level ISIS leaders, but what about the 5 senior Taliban leaders that were released from Guantanamo Bay?
Unbelievable. And the dirty trade that let those terrorists out. That's one way to close down Gitmo, right? Turn over all the bad guys.
That is.
Absolutely. All right, Colonel West, what a pleasure. Thank you for your time and for your service.
Thank you, Kimberly.